This show is brought to you by Safety FM.
Wind blowing through your hair, feel the sound of your heart, guide the way to nowhere. I don't feel it's a thing, running deep in my veins, keeping me on edge as I come back to run as fast as you can. Wind blowing through your hair, feel the sound of your heart, guide the way to nowhere. I don't feel it's a thing, running deep in my veins, keeping me on edge as I come back to run away. Keep it all undercover until we get it out the way. Leave today, start it up, burn it down, turn around, all in a day. Run out of my
Following program is rated MALSV. It contains strong language, sexual situations, and violence. It is intended only for mature audiences.
Finally, show with the balls to call it like it is. Rated R Safety Show on Safety FM.
Countdown to audio torture.
The Rated R Safety Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Let the eardrum pain begin.
Forget the corporate bullshit. This is the Rated R Safety Show with your host, Dr. It doesn't matter who the host is.
Oh, it's something all right. I'm just not sure exactly what it is. Anyways, welcome to the newest episode of the Rated R Safety Show. Today's Monday, March the 30th, and we are broadcasting from the Safety FM studios in Orlando, Florida, and coming across the multiverse known as Safety FM, and then hanging out with our friends and colleagues, well, over there.
Radio Big. USA, Canada, UK.
Okay, so a lot of stuff going on inside of the world of the multiverse. No doubt about that. Anyways, how have you been? How was your weekend? Did you do anything exciting? Did you get in trouble? I mean, maybe that's the other question that I need to ask, opposed to asking if things were exciting. Because people tend to get all hung up about weird stuff, as we are talking, no doubt about that. So let's talk real quick about what our show consists of, because maybe that will help out as we move forward. Our show consists of safety in the news and safety. That's just kind of how we go about doing our thing. No doubt about that. So if you want to interact with the show, it's easy to do so. All you have to do is go to callinradio.com. That's callinradio.com. That will get you moving and grooving with everything that's going on. No doubt about that. So once you do that and we get moving and grooving and you want to interact, video, audio, text messaging is the way that you do it by going to Call In Radio. And that takes care of everything. So outside of that, our show consists of safety in the news and safety. We bring in some professional broadcasters. They start talking about what the hell's going on inside of the world of the multiverse. And then I kind of come back in with a level of a main story. And then we kind of go from there. That's just kind of the layout of the land, the way that it works. The zucchini of your bikini. I don't know. I figured I'd just throw something else out there. So if you're ready to go down the journey, I think I'm ready to go down the journey too, in regards of what's going on. Before I forget, just in case, because I had somebody reach out over the weekend. Yes, we are tomorrow. Tomorrow is the day. In case tomorrow is the day that we will be doing the Conklin workshop in Santa Fe, New Mexico. There are very few tickets left. Very few tickets left. If you're still interested in attending, I think that it closes out tonight in regards to being able to do anything. So there you go. Conklin workshop taking place tomorrow, Santa Fe, New Mexico. Hotel Santa Fe. Brett Sutton, Ann Learin, Rodina Voigt, and of course Todd Conklin going through the whole thing of how to take a look at an incident using a lens of hops. So there you go. That's going on tomorrow. SafetyFM.com, and just click on the section that says live events. That'll get you moving and grooving. But yeah, tomorrow. I can't believe it so quick in regards to everything going on. So with that being said, I do have my friends from Feature Story News ready to, I was going to say tussle, but they're really not tussling. So if you're good with it, I'm good with it. We can get the whole thing rolling right now by getting directly into the news.
Here is the news on the Rated R Safety Show.
From Feature Story News, I'm Rebecca Bunden in Mumbai. Stock markets slumped in Asia on Monday as oil prices head for a record monthly rise as the US-Israel war with Iran escalates. The Middle East war has entered its fifth week. US President Donald Trump, in an interview with the Financial Times, said that the US could easily seize Iran's Karg Island, but he also said that a peace deal could be reached fairly quickly. Laura Westbrook reports from Hong Kong.
Markets in Asia, from Japan to South Korea to Hong Kong, fell on Monday morning, with oil prices rising. Brent crude rose to $115 a barrel at one point. Rising oil prices linked to the Middle East conflict are also adding to inflation pressures. The Strait of Hormuz, a crucial choke point for around a fifth of the world's oil and gas supplies, remains significantly blocked. The clampdown on the strait has sent prices for oil and gas soaring, with experts warning the prices for food and pharmaceuticals are also set to rise. That is bad news for Asia, with much of the region highly dependent on energy from the Middle East. Experts warn that if the strait remains closed for an additional month, that could push oil prices up towards $150 a barrel.
India is allowing the sale of the so-called dirty fuel, kerosene, at public distribution centres and commercial establishments, as the nation's most vulnerable struggle to procure cooking fuel. Ishan Garg tells us more from New Delhi.
India is relaxing rules for faster distribution of kerosene oil as the government moves to secure cooking fuel for daily labourers and migrant workers in the country. The sale of this petroleum product has so far been restricted in several states due to its highly polluting nature, but officials say the new measures are geared towards helping a crunch of cooking gas in the country.
Pakistan is hosting top diplomats from Saudi Arabia, Turkey and Egypt in an effort to broker meaningful dialogue to de-escalate tensions between Iran and the US. They held an hours-long meeting in Islamabad on Sunday. Hira Mustafa reports from Islamabad.
Pakistan's Foreign Minister Ishaq Dar, after holding consultations with the Saudi, Egyptian and Turkish counterparts on Sunday, said the talks were fruitful in a televised address to the nation. He added that the foreign ministers discussed ways to bring an early end to the ongoing conflict in the Middle East, emphasizing that war serves no one's interest. They stressed the importance of unity among Muslim countries during these challenging times and reaffirmed their commitment to the principles of the UN Charter, including respect for sovereignty and territorial integrity. In a significant move, the top diplomats agreed to form a committee of senior officials from their respective foreign ministries to work out a coordinated approach to the crisis through mutual understanding and consensus.
From bureaus worldwide, this is FSN.
With FSN Spotlight, I'm Simon Marks. Today, the perils of engaging in journalism in Lebanon. Over the weekend, 3 Lebanese journalists were killed in what the Israeli military has confirmed was a targeted attack on their car. 2 reporters, both well known for their coverage on the pro-Hezbollah Al-Manar and Al-Mayadeen television networks, died alongside a cameraman. Israel claimed one of the 3 was a terrorist operating under the guise of a journalist, but provided no evidence to support that contention. Oliver Marsden is a Beirut-based reporter for The Observer.
It puts the rest of us here in Lebanon working on the ground in a very scary, dangerous position. Now when we drive around, there's a lot of shock in the community, but we've also, unfortunately, become a bit more used to this. You know, I put press stickers and TV stickers on my car. I coordinate with UNIFIL and with Hezbollah when I go to the south to report. UNIFIL does, through intermediaries, communicate with the IDF and lets them know where I'm going and what my car looks like. But, you know, UNIFIL said themselves, we cannot guarantee protection. We can't stop an attack just because you have that written on your car. But what we can do is show that Israel cannot deny what they were doing and can't deny who they were hitting.
Lebanon's president called Saturday's killing by the Israeli military a brazen crime that broke international law. With FSN Spotlight, I'm Simon Marks.
Here's the main news again. Global oil prices rose and stocks slumped on Monday in Asia as the US-Israel war with Iran escalates. The Israel Defense Forces said it is currently striking Iranian military infrastructure across Tehran. Pakistan is hosting top diplomats from Saudi Arabia, Turkey and Egypt in an effort to broker meaningful dialogue to de-escalate tensions between Iran and the US. And that is the latest feature story news. Rebecca Bunden reporting.
Listen to our host of the Rated R Safety Show self-implode on our airwaves, only on Safety FM.
This portion of the show has been sponsored by Private Internet Access, America's #1 virtual private network, or VPN. Even if you use incognito mode, internet service providers is storing your browser data and many times even selling it. But Private Internet Access, or PIA, can help you. PIA encrypts and reroutes your internet traffic through one of its own servers, hiding your data from your internet service provider or network admin. And with servers in over 75 countries, you can get unrestricted access to geo-blocked content from around the world. PIA comes with easy-to-use apps and browsers extension for all devices, a rock-solid privacy policy, open source security, advanced customization settings, and it was just ranked the fastest VPN in the world by PC Magazine. And if you sign up right now with PIA, you can take advantage of a special deal only for Safety FM listeners. Only by using the following link, you can get the digital privacy for less than $2 a month. Yes, you did hear me correctly, less than $2 a month, and an extra 4 months for free. So that means for only $1.98 a month and 83% off, you can get this service for you right now. That's so much more inexpensive than virtually every other VPN on the market. And if you get it right now, you can take PIA's 30-day risk-free challenge. You can try it out for 30 days, see if you like it, and if not, just return it for a full refund. So just go to safetyfm.com/VPN. That's safetyfm.com/VPN to try out the best VPN on the planet completely risk-free. Now remember, safetyfm.com/VPN.
Is your safety training old, stale, and hacked? Is your safety trainer still preaching a warped version of behavior-based safety? How about Safety Train actually addresses your hazards in your workplaces and is not standardized baloney from 25 years ago? Contact the Safety Wars team at safetywars.com or call Jim Posel at 845-269-5772. Remember, if you're receiving this message, you are the solution to unsafe workplaces.
You ever hit the wall, burnout, stressed, or just feeling that everything is piling up and thought, yeah, I probably need to talk to someone? The problem is finding the therapist who actually takes your insurance feels impossible at times. That's where Rula comes in. Rula is a healthcare company that makes mental health care easy to access and actually affordable. They partner with over 100 insurance plans, so the average copay is about $15 a session, sometimes even less. With Rula, you get matched with the right therapist for you, not just whoever's available. Their network has over 15,000 licensed professionals, and you can book an appointment as soon as tomorrow. No wait list, no frustrations, just therapy that works with your schedule and your insurance. Thousands of people are already using Rula to get affordable, high-quality therapy that actually covered by insurance. Visit Rula.com/safetyfm to get started. After you sign up, you'll be asked how you heard about them. Please support our show and let them know that we sent you there. That's RULA.com/safetyfm. You deserve mental health care that works with you, not against your budget. Go to Rula.com/safetyfm right now to get started. That's RULA.com/safetyfm, because you deserve mental health care that works with you, not against your budget.
What if everything we thought we knew about safety was just interference? From the host of the Rated R Safety Show and the founder of Safety FM comes the complete signal transmission trilogy, now available in one powerful edition. Safety, in my opinion, the book that started the conversation. Safety Mutation, where the boundaries of culture, systems, and belief begin to break. And now, Safety Transmission, the final piece of the signal. For the first time, all 3 books are together in one volume. The Signal Transmission Trilogy, Complete Edition. This isn't just about compliance. It's about consciousness. It's about decoding the way we think, lead, and live, inside and outside the system. Whether you've been following the signal since the beginning or you're just now tuning in, this is the version to own. Search Signal Trilogy on Amazon or visit safetyfm.com to get your copy now.
Safety in a way never heard of before. The Rated R Safety Show on Safety FM.
Okay, here we go. 16 minutes past the top of the hour as you and I are hanging out and doing all the fun stuff that we get to do. No doubt about that. So let's start talking right away about some things that are going on inside of the world of the multiverse. And I'm almost tempted, here to start off with some of the strange. So take a listen to this, because I think that this is where we need to start. And we're going to start off by talking about
tipping culture.
So tipping culture is creeping into yet another corner, your hotel room. A TikTok user sparked a debate after finding a QR code in a Hampton Inn room that lets guests tip the housekeeper digitally. He wasn't buying it, arguing that cleaning should already be included into the price unless you're getting luxury extras like nightly turn-down service. Here's a twist. Tipping hotel keepers isn't new at all. It's actually been a standard practice for years, usually a few bucks per day. The only thing new is the tech. No cash, just a scan and tip. Supporters say that it keeps workers who are often underpaid and doing physical demanding work. Critics, they say the tipping is spreading way too far and businesses should just pay better. So here's the real fight. Isn't the QR code. It's whether customers should keep picking up the tab. Take a listen to what the guy had to say.
So I just checked into my hotel room here in the Hampton Inn in Bloomington, Indiana, and I saw this interesting note sitting in front of the TV. Right now, Hampton Inn employees is encouraging people to tip their cleaning staff. The people who have just come in here, clean your room every day, deserve tips now. For me, unless I'm getting turn down service every single night and chocolates on my pillow before I go to sleep, I'm not giving a penny in tips to housekeeping staff. So that should be a given that's factored into your hotel stay. So just an interesting thing I saw.
Okay, so there you go. A lot of stuff coming up with that. So what's your general thought about it? I will tell you that I have seen this for years, so this is not something that's new. It's maybe the QR code aspect is kind of the newer thing. But I don't know if you remember this, but shortly after COVID, or when people were allowed to go back into hotels, kind of the way that it worked was it gotten to the point that you had to request someone to clean your the room that you were in if you were in there for multiple days, opposed to it just kind of being the standard, where that's where you saw that started to get heavily involved in regards of tipping and referencing if you wanted the extra service because it was called an extra service opposed to it being standard. So I think that's where it got heavily involved. I will tell you that I have seen the whole tipping envelope thing for as long as I've been traveling in regards to the hotel rooms, in regards to doing it. So where are you at with it? Some comments, of course, is we're officially reached to scan this code to feel guilty, to fill in the guilty territory. And at this point, your pill is going to ask for a tip. I don't know. If you go back and look at a Philip K. Dick book that's called Ubik, he referenced that everything at some point is a subscription service. I don't know if you know this, but there are cars out there. This is not a joke as I say this, that tell you that, like, if you want the heating for the car to work, meaning like in the chair, not just the general heater, but the heating in the car for the chair, it is a subscription service. It is not a come with the car anymore. Also, I have a friend that he owns a Toyota. And he was referencing that his Toyota has an auto start feature, but it's a subscription. It's not a just go ahead and have it type of thing once you buy it. Very odd stuff as we are getting. So last week we were talking, and I was telling you that the Savannah Guthrie was doing a 2-day interview for NBC's Today. We did play part of it on Friday, and there was another clip that came out later on Friday morning, better saying, far after we had talked about it. So I got the newer clip. And if you want to take a listen to it, I would love for you to listen to what she had to say, because she was still talking about everything that was going on. For some reason, when I was pulling this, it was still all over the place with it. So take a listen.
So how about coming back? I know everyone's wondering.
So it's hard to imagine doing it because it's such a place of joy and lightness, and I can't come back and try to be something that I'm not. But I can't not come back because it's my family. I think it's part of my purpose right now. I want to smile, and when I do, it will be real. And my joy will be my protest. My joy will be my answer, and being there is joyful. And when it's not, I'll say so. And I have been so grateful to have this family. I consider this my family, my greater family. When times are hard, you want to be with your family. And I want to be with my family. I don't know if I can do it. I don't know if I'll belong anymore, but I would like to try. And I'm not going to be the same, but maybe it's like that old poem, more beautiful in the broken places.
So the aspect, and I guess I didn't get it into the clip there, it looks like Savannah will return. It's looking like April the 6th. So we're talking essentially a week from today, right? A week from today. I want to make sure that I don't have that math wrong. Yeah, I believe it's a week from today that she will be returning in there. So what do you think? Do you think, I mean, of course it's going to be the question of questions. Is she doing the right thing, the wrong thing? I don't know. I mean, I look at it and I go, I admire her in regards to even giving any consideration to coming back anytime soon. So I don't know. What do you think about the whole thing? Because it is very, very interesting just overall in regards to what's going on. So with that being said, yes, because I am saying it, let's continue talking about some other stuff that is going on inside of the world of the multiverse, because why would we not be doing this? So let's take a look around here, and I am going to give you some levels here, because there is some levels to this craziness that we talk about. Do we want to go a little bit more serious or a little bit more odd? I guess let's go into semi-serious. Yeah. Okay. 5 guys learned the hard way what happens when you offer free burgers and underestimate America's appetite. A buy one, get one free promo for their 40th anniversary turned into total chaos. Lines out the door, stores running out of food, employees getting slammed. CEO Jerry Merle admitted that they really screwed it up and joked that he handed out $1.5 million in bonuses, $1,000 to workers at about 1,500 locations, so that nobody would be mad enough to take him out. Dark humor aside, he said the teams were overwhelmed and deserved it. The company later apologized and reran the promotion more carefully, saying that they were caught off guard with how many people showed up. So nothing says we messed up like paying employees hazard pay for cheeseburgers. I mean, think about that for a moment. And customers came for burgers and left with trust issues when it was all said and done. So what do you think here? I'm just saying. So there you go. Okay. So I hope you're sitting, because I want to tell you about this, because some people wanted to know. So Apple has quietly pulled the plug on the Mac Pro Tower, officially discontinued the high-powered desktop after it's sat unchanged since 2023. The $6,999 long favored by creatives like video editors, musicians, and designers has disappeared from Apple's website as the company shifts focus to newer, faster, and frankly smaller gear. The Mac Pro's problem? it got lapped. Devices like the compact Mac Studio, now packing advanced chips, made the bulky tower feel like yesterday's news. When a smaller box, outrun your flagship, well, the writing's on the wall. That marks the end of the run that started back in 2006 when the Mac Pro replaced the old Power Mac G5 and became the staple in studios and production houses. Now Apple's attention is clearly elsewhere, rolling out fresh hardware like the iPhone 17e, the iPad Air with M4, and the lineup of Macs powered by the Gen 5 chips. The Mac Studio, I mean, I will tell you, when it came out a few years ago, it was a monster in regards of it's slightly bigger than what was it, an Apple Mini, right? And so it was just one of those things that was going to engulf anything else. And the price points, just depending on which one you end up with, there are kind of slightly different because you can get entry level and still have some power that the $7,000 machine could not do, just depending on your configuration. So there you go. If you were a big roller with that could be potentially an issue going forward. So there you go. A lot of stuff going on for sure as we are talking. Okay, so with that being said, let's talk about some things getting a little bit more serious here. Tiger Woods had a rollover crash near a Florida home, and it turned into a DUI arrest. Authorities say that Woods was driving at a high speed on a 30-mile-per-hour road when he tried to pass a truck pulling a trailer, clipped it, and flipped his SUV. The vehicle ended up on the side. He had to crawl out through the passenger door. Miraculously, no injuries, him or anyone else. On the scene, deputies say that he showed signs of impairment. Breathalyzers came back clean, no alcohol, but things got completely complicated when he refused a urine test. He was arrested and charged with DUI, property damage, and refusing a lawful test, both misdemeanors. This isn't the first rodeo either. Back in 2017, Tiger had a DUI-related arrest tied to prescription meds. And of course, there was that brutal 2021 crash that nearly cost him a leg and derailed his career all over again. So there you go. What do you think here? Interesting stuff, just to say the least, if we are talking. So there you go. Okay, take a listen to this. Tiger Woods has already been on the not driving the kids list before his latest crash. And yeah, this isn't exactly a new rule cooked up after Friday, but according to reports, Woods, who's dating Vanessa Trump, is not allowed to get behind the wheel with any of Donald Trump's grandchildren in the car, not because of one bad day, because the Secret Service protection doesn't exactly leave room for casual carpools. This is all comes as Wood deals with the fallout from his latest rollover crash in Florida, which led to a DUI arrest. So there you go. There you go. Okay, so let me ask you something.
Are you a sporting aficionado?
Are you a big sports person? If you are, good for you. If not, good for you as well. Floyd Mayweather is keeping one foot in the ring, but the whole Manny Pacquiao rematch. Let's see. Yeah, don't start printing tickets just yet. Mayweather says that the rumored September 19th showdown at the Sphere is far from being locked in. No confirmation location, no guarantee if it even happens. And if it does, it would be a sanctioned fight anywhere. That throws a wrench into the earlier hype that the fight was all set for Vegas. Mayweather, take it simple. If it happens, well, it's just an exhibition, meaning that nobody's record takes a hit and everybody walks away smiling and paid. Still, he doesn't. He's done entertaining. Mayweather says that he's open to other exhibition bouts, including the possible clash with Mike Tyson, that he's already got another exhibition lined up for overseas. So there you go. I will tell you, many, many moons ago, and maybe I shouldn't say many, many moons ago, like 2 or 3 years ago, didn't the UFC do something at the Sphere? And I want to say, if I remember correctly, they had stated at the time that just for the production of the video walls that were there, It was $20 million just to get that stuff rolling. So just to think about that in regards to how much money that fight would have to make. So there you go. Anyways, Kash Patel is dealing with a serious cybersecurity mess after a hacker group tied to Iran claims that it breached his personal accounts and dumped emails and photos online. The group, calling itself Handala, bragged about the attack, mocking U.S. security and saying that they exposed both personal and work-related materials from Patel dating back years. Some of the images allegedly show him casually setting, though not all has been independently verified. A Justice Department official confirmed that Patel's email was compromised, but the details are limited and the Federal Bureau of Investigation hasn't publicly responded yet. Handala represents itself as a pro-Palestine hacking group, but experts believe that it's linked to Iranian government. The breach comes in the rising tensions after Donald Trump ordered strikes on Iran, with officials already warning the cyber attacks could be part of retaliation. So there you go. There you go. So there you go. A lot of stuff going on right there. Let's see if we can squeeze in a few more here as we are going. A Secret Service agent assigned to Joe Biden accidentally shot himself in the leg on duty in Philadelphia International Airport. The agency called it a negligent discharge, and thankfully the injury isn't life-threatening. Biden wasn't even nearby when it happened, and no one else was hurt. The incident added to the already messy scene at the airport, where security has been stretched thin during the government shutdown. That's one way to clear a terminal. Everybody just slowly backs away. I guess that's one way to go when it's all said and done. Let me see if I can get two more in here real quick. Things are getting real down in Kennedy Space Center. NASA crews are at the final stretch, gearing up to the countdown operations ahead of the Artemis II launch, which could happen as early as Wednesday. Weather mostly playing nice, about 80% green light, but it's all sunshine and rockets. They're keeping a wary eye on the cloud cover and gusty winds, because that ruins a launch faster than Mother Nature deciding to flex. Meanwhile, the astronauts have already locked into quarantine. The Artemis II mission is a test flight to send 4 astronauts on more than 600,000 miles, 10-day journey around the moon, a lunar flyby, and a test spacecraft system ahead of the Artemis IV, which aims to land astronauts near the moon's south pole at a region never explored by humans in 2028. So there you go. Okay, let's do this one real quick before we get into our main story. Bank of America has agreed to a $72.5 million settlement tied to victims of Jeffrey Epstein, closing out a lawsuit that accused the bank of turning a blind eye while continuing to do business with him. The case brought a survivor identified as Jane Doe, representing a broader group of women who say that they were abused and trafficked by Epstein over more than a decade. The lawsuit claimed the bank ignored warning signs of his crimes while maintaining financial relationship with him. Bank of America denied any wrongdoing, but agreed to settle rather than take the case to trial. The deal, pending from the judge approval, would apply to victims connected to the Epstein between 2008 and 2019, which with the move, Bank of America joins other major banks that have already paid out large settlements tied to Epstein's crimes, adding that another chapter of the ongoing fallout of his running abuse network. So there you go. Yeah, because that's what I would do if I'm not guilty of doing something. I would decide to settle at $72.5 million.
We at Safety FM are not responsible for what this idiot behind the microphone is saying. He is trying to be entertaining. Rated R Safety Show. Here is our main story on the Rated R Safety Show.
I'm just saying. Don't damn me when I speak a piece of mind, because silence isn't golden when I'm holding it inside it, because I've been where I've been and I've seen what I've seen, but silence isn't golden when there's stuff inside of me. Okay, so let's talk real quick about some things that are going on inside of the world of the multiverse, because that's what we do around here. If you look at the raw architecture of any complex software, eventually you are going to find something that we call a glitch. Computer scientists call it anomaly. It is a rogue piece of code that refuses to execute the way the original architect intended. It behaves unpredictably, and it defies the established parameters. And if you are one who built the software, an anomaly is absolutely terrifying, because it proves that you do not have total control over the environment that you created. And we have spent the last few episodes tearing down the illusion of the corporate safety matrix. We've talked about Philip K. Dick, Black Iron Prison, the invisible systemic cage that wraps us into the loop of high entropy and burnout. And we even talked about the fake disruptors who use controversy to create cash without actually fixing a physical hazard on the floor. And we even installed a new cognitive operating system, the triad of PKD, the signal, and Jeet Kune Do. And today we bring it all together, and we're going to talk about the anomaly. Yes, if you may, the anomaly.
Duh.
The corporate machine, the black iron prison that is built on the function exactly like a massive sociopathic software program. The architecture sitting in their climate-controlled boardroom demand total compliance. The demand is smooth data, predictable outcomes, and absolute obedience to the written rules. They write 50 pages of administrative permits and perfectly formatted standard operating system and expect the messy, kinetic, and physical reality of the production floor to perfectly mirror their sterile spreadsheets. They expect the human beings doing the dangerous work to act programmatic robots, because that's how we're programmable robots. Let's not call them programmatic yet. But human beings are not code. The physical world is not violent. Well, let me rephrase that. The physical world is violent. It is chaotic. It is completely unpredictable. And this is where the traditional safety narrative has been feeding you a massive, unforgivable lies for decades. When a worker on the floor bypasses the machine guard or skips a step of the lockout tagout procedure to clear a jam and ignores the written policy because the equipment has been broken for 6 months, traditional safety looks at the worker and flags them as the defect. The system labels it human error, because why would we not use that? It treats the worker like the negative anomaly. Yes, the negative anomaly that needs to be punished, retrained, terminated, or, getting rid of totally altogether and terminated to protect the purity of the simulation. But if we strip away the corporate bullshit and look at the physical reality, you realize the exact opposite is true. The worker isn't the defect. The worker is adaptability is the only thing keeping the entire facility from burning to the ground. When the corporate plan inevitably fails, when the supply chain breaks, when the maintenance budget is slashed, when the impossible production quotas come down from the executives and the perfectly written safety permit becomes completely useless, what saves the day is the human glitch. It is the gut feeling. It is the frontline worker looking at the stupid rule, realizing that we're going to get them killed, and then adapting on the fly to absorb the failure of the system. Human adaptability is the anomaly that lowers entropy. It is the localized glitch that keeps the blood off the concrete when the matrix breaks down. The wardens of the black iron prison absolutely hate this. They are terrified of human adaptability because they cannot measure it. They cannot predict it. They cannot control it. This is why they constantly generate bloated bureaucratic safety management systems. They are trying to crush the human anomaly under the weight of thousands of checklists. They want to force people to stop thinking and just blindly follow the script is really the way this is supposed to go. And they expect you, the safety professional, to be the antivirus software. They want you to walk the floor, hunt down the human glitches, and write them up. They want you to enforce the simulation. If you do that, you are nothing but a loyal soldier to a machine that feeds human exhaustion. If you actually want to protect people, you have to use cognitive operating systems we built last week. You have to weaponize the glitch. When you walk into the noise and the heat and you catch the worker violating the cardinal safety rule, you do not write them up. You boot up the first protocol, the Philip K. Dick space. You question the narrative. You look at the worker and you realize this isn't a crime. This is a symptom. You destabilize the false certainty that the rule was perfect to begin with. You ask the dangerous question, why is this human being forced to act like an anomaly just to get the job done? Then you shift into the signal space. You make sense of the distortion. You decode the anomaly. You trace the worker's behavior back up the chain and you find the systemic lie. You realize they bypass the guard, not because they are reckless, but because the system is demanding an impossible outcome with a broken machine. And the anomaly is just the system stress bleeding onto the concrete, and we organize that meeting. Yeah, seriously.
Duh.
Finally, you step into the Jeet Kune Do space. You take the physical verified action. You don't hand the worker a warning. You don't write controversial LinkedIn posts complaining about the culture. You physically change the environment. You strip away the useless broken rule, and you lock out the hazard. You change the physical architecture of the machine so the worker no longer has the anomaly just to survive their shift. We talked about the grifters in this industry, the ones that scream on the stages, generating controversy for cash. Those people want you to think they are anomalies. They want you to think that they're yelling about a broken system that makes you a rebel. It doesn't. Making noise doesn't make you an anomaly. It just makes you loud. No, seriously.
Duh.
A real anomaly operates in the silence of the physical world. A real anomaly is the safety professional who refuses to be corporate antivirus program. It is the person who looks at the black iron prison, sees the bars, and actively protects the human glitches who are just trying to make it home to their families. So if you're enforcing the rules, you are part of the simulation. You are upholding a horrifying plan. I want you to leave you with this as we close out. Tomorrow morning, when you badge into your facility, stop looking for people breaking the rules per se. Start looking for the rules that are breaking the people. When you find the gap between that, or when you find the gap between the executive demands and what physical reality dictates, don't try to smooth it over. Step into the gap. Protect the human beings who are forced to adapt to the sociopathic system. And don't be the warden enforcer. Be the glitch. Become the anomaly that disrupts the machine. Think about it. What if you walked in and were just straight up the anomaly? What happens then?
Oops! What did he just say?
We at Safety FM don't always agree with the viewpoints of our hosts and guests.
Now back to real safety talk on Safety FM.
Don't go anywhere.
You're listening to the home of real safety talk.
You are listening to Safety FM. We'll be right back.
Hey there, Jay Allen here with Safety FM, where we just don't talk about safety, we live it. And when it comes to safeguarding your future, there's no better partner than Acorns. This part of the show has been brought to you by Acorns and a powerful tool that makes saving and investing easier than ever. We all know that investing can feel overwhelming, especially with busy lives and no time to dive into the nitty-gritty of financial markets, but Acorns changes the game. With Acorns, you don't need to be a financial expert or have a hefty sum of money to get started. In fact, Acorns lets you begin with just spare change. All about those small steps, small investments today that can build into something much bigger over time. Acorns recommends that the expert build portfolio designed to fit financial goals. Then it does the heavy lifting for you by automatically investing your money. It's like having a financial advisor in your pocket working around the clock to help your money grow. So why wait? Head over to acorns.com/safetyfm or download the Acorns app and take that first step towards securing your future today. Remember, in the world of safety and investing, small actions today can lead to mighty outcomes tomorrow. Paid non-client endorsement. Compensation provides an incentive to positively promote Acorns. Investing involves risk. Acorns Advisors, LLC, and SEC registered investment advisors. View important disclosures at acorn.com/safetyfm. At Safety FM, we're all about making smart decisions on the job and in life. So take control of your financial future. This is Jay Allen reminding you to stay safe, stay smart, and invest in your tomorrow.
In safety, in my opinion, you woke up. You saw the system, the simulation, the structure that trained you to mistake compliance for care. Safety mutation. Information misdirection picks up where the signal fractured. Because the system didn't shut you down, it rebranded you. It packaged your voice, sold your rebellion as a new initiative, and smiled while doing it. This isn't a manual. It's a decoded transmission about what happens when slogans replace stories, when safety becomes marketing, and when truth gets mirrored so perfectly, you forget it was ever yours. You'll see the mutation. Learning teams turned into theater, zero harm turned into optics, and feedback turned into formatting. But the signal didn't die. It was redirected. Safety Mutation is Book 2 of the Signal Transmission Trilogy. Available now in print, Kindle, and audiobook. Narrated by the author J. Allen, Ph.D. Because the system adapted. Now it's your move.
Radio Big. Streaming 24/7 at radiobig.fm.
Side to side, one by the other, one to keep it satisfied. Run as fast as you can, win the way through your...
Okay, here we go. 45 minutes past the top of the hour. We are still hanging out doing our thing. No doubt about that. A lot of stuff going on inside of the world of the multiverse because that's the way that it goes. So there you go. So this right here, the song is called Run by Superior Motive. Songs readily available on Apple Music, YouTube Music, Spotify, and Pandora. So there you go. We would like to thank Superior Motive for allowing us to play this here on the Rated R Safety Show. No doubt about that. So there you go, there you go, there you go, there you go. So there you go. Okay, so let's get moving and grooving and start talking about some other things that are going on inside of the world of the multiverse. So let me tell you about the most important thing that I will ever tell you in my lifetime. And that's about my friends at To Write Love on Our Arms. No matter what you're facing, you deserve to be connected to help. And we want you to know that the people have been where you are now, and things can get better. Healing is possible. To find out more information, all you have to do is go to TWLOHA.com. That's TWLOHA.com. To Write Love on Her Arms. Once you get there, go all the way to the very far left or the very far right on the website and click on the section that says Find Help, and you'll see information related to addiction, depression, eating disorders, self-injury, suicide, trauma, and grief support, just to name a few. That's TWLOHA.com and click on the section that says Find Help. So there you go. Some stuff for you if you do not mind, of course. So there you go. A lot of stuff going on inside of the world of the multiverse as we are talking. So let's continue talking a little bit more. As I had stated earlier in the show, if you did not know this, tomorrow, Santa Fe, New Mexico, we will be doing the Conklin workshop taking place in Santa Fe, as I just stated. It'll be tomorrow and on Wednesday. Very few tickets are available. I mean, like very, 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 very few. If you're still interested in to go, all you have to do is go to safetyfm.com and click on the section that says live events. That's safetyfm.com. Click on live events. We'll be doing a workshop, taking a look at an incident that occurred, looking at through the lens of Hop. Radonda Voigt will be telling her story on what occurred to her. And then we'll look at some technology developed by Brett Sutton to discuss, and Ann Liren will be hosting the event. Would love to see you there if you are able to make it. So there you go. All you have to do is go to safetyfm.com and click on the section that says live events. If you can't make it to tomorrow's event, we have this one coming up. It is occurring on July the 13th in Orlando. This one's going to be slightly different. We're going to be doing a reality shift, an observational symposium. Why do we call it that? Because we're going to be doing it at a movie theater. That's why. We'll be hanging out with the likes of Nick Weatherly talking about behavior-based safety, Todd Conklin talking about human and organizational performance, and I will be there talking about Signal Trilogy. We will also have a level of a movie/documentary that we'll take a look at together on that day, taking place July the 13th, which is a Monday. Just a little FYI. Why on a Monday? Well, that way if you want to come to good old Orlando, you have the opportunity to come and hang out over the weekend before we get into the nitty-gritty of stuff. That is for sure. So that gives you some options of doing that. For that one, all you have to do is go to safetyfm.io. Early bird pricing is still available there. So safetyfm.io. We're doing this as the early pricing for some. If you're intrigued by it, it does expire here in a few days, the early pricing. Safetyfm.io for more information. It's going to be a fun-filled, packed event for that one day. No doubt about that, taking place here in Orlando. So there you go. Anyways, with that being said, I do have John Smalls waiting in the wing, wanting to talk about what the hell's going on in the Motivation Minute. So if you're good with this, I'm good with this, and let's get that rolling right now.
Courtesy of JaceCaseMedical.com. Today's quote was submitted by Kevin. Miles Davis said, "If you're not nervous, you're not paying attention." I love this quote. It emphasizes that feeling anxious or nervous is a sign of engagement, respect for the task, and awareness of the risks involved, particularly in creative or higher stakes situations. It highlights that nerves are not a weakness, but a catalyst for creativity and alertness. I've been helping business owners with their marketing and advertising for over 30 years. When it comes down to it, it's officially sales. I need to sell them on working with me, but I also need to sell them on every idea along the way. In sales, you're not going to get a yes every time. Sometimes it's not going to be what you want it to be. Does that make me nervous or anxious? Well, it does sometimes. But I also understand that no is an acceptable answer. And it means let's just try something else. The Motivation Minute. This has been the Motivation Minute. I'm John Small. Thanks for listening. Your favorite motivational quotes can be submitted for upcoming programs at motivationminute.org.
Here is the news on the Radio R Safety Show.
Escalating airstrikes have battered Tehran and other Iranian cities in the second month of the U.S.
Human rights monitors say hundreds of strikes hit Iran in a single day, with dozens of civilians killed and many more wounded in the capital and surrounding areas. Diplomatic teams from Saudi Arabia, Turkey, and Egypt are meeting in Pakistan to urge a halt to the fighting. Liam White reporting.
In the eastern Mediterranean, missile barrages from Iranian-backed Houthi forces have added to the strain on Gulf defenses.
Yemen's Houthis say their attacks on Gulf targets are meant to pressure Israel and its allies to end strikes on Iran, while Saudi and Emirati officials report damage to key industrial sites and injuries among workers. Gary Beck reporting.
Across Europe and North Africa, anti-war demonstrators have taken to the streets under the banner No Kings.
In city after city, marchers hold banners calling for an end to the Iran war, safer borders, and more affordable living costs, while organizers insist their message is about protecting democracy, not partisan politics. Benjamin Wright reporting.
This is the latest news headlines.
In the United States, more than 8 million people are estimated to have joined the No Kings rallies over the weekend.
Demonstrators poured into state capitals, major metros, and smaller towns, demanding an end to the war in Iran, tougher limits on immigration enforcement, and more action on the cost of living. National organizers say turnout surpassed earlier waves of protests in June and October, with well over 3,000 events recorded in all 50 states. Jessica Oakley reporting.
Despite a partial government shutdown, President Trump has ordered immediate back pay for TSA.
Travelers at hubs in Atlanta, Houston, and New York report only modest improvement so far because many screening agents have already left the job and replacements take months to train. TSA officials warn that heavy spring break traffic will continue to strain checkpoints. Lawrence Keller reporting.
A new tropical storm warning is in effect for parts of the southeastern United States, with forecasts forecasters warning of heavy rain and gusty winds.
Emergency managers in several coastal counties are urging residents to review their storm plans, secure loose outdoor items, and watch for updates on potential evacuations. Some beaches and marinas have already begun closing by early evening. Kyle Norris reporting.
In Washington, the Supreme Court is preparing to hear arguments over President Trump's executive order ending birthright citizenship.
Liberal and moderate justices have signaled deep concern that the policy would create chaos in immigration records and separate families, while conservatives debate limits on executive power versus the administration's claimed authority. Kevin Sanders reporting.
And that's the latest news headlines with Alan Edwards.
Warning. Listening to other radio stations could cause testicle shrinkage. I'm talking truth.
Okay, that sounds a little dangerous to me. That is for sure. Let's talk about some things that happened back on this date. Back in 1981, President Reagan is shot and wounded by John W. Hinckley Jr. That happened back on this date in 81. Also, Jack Nicklaus in 1990 made his debut in the seniors golf tournament. In 1992, a man accidentally backs into Jose Canseco's $225,000 Lamborghini. So there you go. Some things that happened back on this date. Let's talk about some celebrity birthdays going on today. Josh Astin turns 96. Warren Beatty turns 89. Eric Clapton 81. Paul Reiser 69. MC Hammer 63. Tracy Chapman turns 62. And Celine Dion turns 58 today. And Nora Jones 47. There you go. There are some birthdays for you. Let's talk real quick about some things that you ought to know. Pope Leo didn't tiptoe around when it came out swinging from the pulpit, speaking to tens of thousands in St. Peter's Square on Palm Sunday. He blasted leaders who start wars, saying God doesn't listen to prayers from people with hands full of blood. With the Iran conflict dragging into the second month, Leo called the war let's see, what did he call it exactly?
Atrocious.
It made it clear, don't drag Jesus into it. He said that faith can't be used as a shield or excuse for violence, period. Message from the Vatican, you can't pray for peace while lighting the match. So there you go. Here's Friday's winning Mega Million numbers, just in case you did not know. It's 13, 27, 28, 41, 62, and the Mega Ball was 16. And here are Saturday's winning Powerball numbers. It was 11, 42, 43, 59, 61. Powerball was 25. Power Play was 4. Since there was no jackpot winner, tonight's jackpot climbs to, let's see, $180 million. Also, Donald Trump says that with Iran might be the deal with Iran might be right around the corner, pointing to the ongoing negotiations, and then he claims that are going extremely well. He added that 20 more oil tankers are expected to move through the strait, calling it a sign of respect amid the talks. Trump also painted Iran as eager, saying that they're basically begging for peace after taking the what he described as serious losses. But the classic Trump fashion, he kept one eyebrow raised, warning that negotiations with Iran have been a habit of swinging from diplomacy to destruction in a hurry. So there you go. And let me give you one more here. Animals' rights activists are trying to shake up Easter tradition, pushing officials in the U.S. and the UK to swap out egg for rolling for, brace yourself, rolling decorated potatoes instead. Their pitch, fewer eggs means less resilience on industrial chicken farming. Plus, potatoes are cheaper, sturdier, and won't crack 5 seconds into a kid launching them downhill. So there you go. Some things to think about. Okay, if you need some words of wisdom for today, life is strange. You arrive with nothing, spend your whole life chasing everything, and still leave with nothing. Make sure that your soul gains more than your hand. So there you go. And if I can leave you with some words of advice, wear a sprig of rosemary and your hair to improve your memory. So there you go, some things to talk about. Anyways, that's going to end our time together at the top of the hour. I'll be going over to radiobig.fm if you want to come up and hang out with me for the next couple hours or so. If not, that's perfectly fine. You can hang out here with the likes of Sheldon Primus as he talks about the world of safety consulting. I'll be hanging out in Santa Fe this week, so would love to see you. If you're going to be out there and around, let's sit around and talk about some stuff that's going on. You will be catching the best of as we will be hanging out here throughout the week. If you don't come over here with me for the next couple hours, well, we'll see what happens. Anyways, that's going to sum it up. I know who you are. You know who I am. Love you, mean it, and goodbye.
The views and opinions expressed during this broadcast, podcast, or radio show are solely those of the host and guests and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of Safety FM and or Radio Big. The content discussed, including examples of analysis, is provided for illustrative purposes only. It should not be applied as the sole solution in real-world scenarios, as it is based on limited and dated open source information. Any assumptions made during this broadcast, podcast, or radio show are not reflective of Safety FM and or Radio Big. No portion of this broadcast, podcast, or radio show may be reproduced, stored in a retrieval system, or transmitted in any form or by any means, electronic, mechanical, recording, or otherwise, without prior written permission of Safety FM and or Radio Big. For permission requests, please contact Safety FM or Radio Big directly.
On edges, I come back to